Stop being selfish in trading. The market doesn't owe you anything. Every time you go into the market and you feel entitled to get a setup, a payout, results, then you need to ask yourself, why do you feel this way? And you will probably say something along the lines of, I've done so much work, I've backtested for hours, for days, for months, for years. I've sacrificed so much and I deserve to get something from the market. But the truth is, you don't. The market isn't made for you specifically to go in and get your setup. That's delusional to think that all the market participants, all the other institutions, traders, participants in the markets center around you and your setup, like the universe centers around you and your existence. Think about how small we all are in this universe, and to think that the market should operate within a way that makes your setup valid and everyone else's strategy or all the other stuff happening in the market irrelevant, that's delusional. I'm not saying this to be hard on you, I'm just telling you the truth. Because yes, the market is also out to get people and the market is built for you to fail, but that's not always the reason why you get stopped out. Sometimes it's just that the market doesn't really see your setup or care that much about your setup, and that's why sometimes you get stopped out and other times it works. But the reality is, in trading, it doesn't matter how much you've prepared, it doesn't matter how much you've sacrificed, you can still get stopped out, you can still blow your account. And that's the reality of this game. But you always have to ask yourself this: are you trading out of a selfish standpoint, or are you doing the best of your ability while always taking 100% accountability for your results? Because it's your fault if the market stops you out, not the market. You can't blame the market. No matter what happens, it's always your responsibility. And this is what I'm talking about with taking responsibility and lowering your ego, because you may feel entitled to something, you may think that you don't have to take responsibility, but that only backfires on you, because at the end of the day, it's you who are going to suffer the consequences anyway. So it doesn't matter if you take responsibility or not, you will still face the consequences. And it's better to take responsibility and think, what can I do different next time? How can I manage this? Because at the end of the day, the market doesn't follow rules. It's not like another sport where you have rules and a referee. The market, we have no referee, we have no rules. So even though you may have a system you follow, if you can't take responsibility, and if you see, for example, the market consolidate below your TP for hours and you still feel entitled and you still feel like it must go to TP, then I can tell you that the market doesn't have to do anything. And in some cases, if you want to give all your responsibility away, then that's a major issue. Because if you've backtested and you know that in your backtesting you have an edge if it goes to TP, then obviously just let it hit TP, or if it doesn't, then that's fine. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about people who feel entitled for it to hit TP, and they're not able to just take responsibility for the situation, think about what has the market showed me this day. Is it still a high probability for it to hit TP, or should I just take responsibility and think that the market doesn't owe me anything, and right now it's showing me that it doesn't really want to go and take out that liquidity and hit TP. So in order to manage my capital and take responsibility, I should probably take a partial, close the whole position, or put stop loss higher, whatever you need to do in order to take responsibility. And this is the mindset I'm talking about with you should always be more fearful than hopeful in trading, because at the end of the day, when the market works, it works. You're not in drawdown for long, and it never goes back to break even either. It just goes straight towards your TP, and you don't have to make any decisions. It's just simple, it's just easy. So in order to get those days, you have to do the hard work the other days. You have to manage your capital the other days. You have to think about, okay, this day the market is showing me that it's not that eager to go to TP. I need to be more fearful of losing capital today than hopeful that it's going to work, because I know that in Forex, eventually you get your A plus setup and it just works, and that's it. So the other days, it's no major issue if you get stopped out break even or whatever. That's nothing. Like if you get stopped out break even, like I got stopped out break even yesterday and I didn't even care. So because I viewed it as I didn't lose anything, like nothing has changed in that trading day. I haven't lost, I haven't won, or actually I won because I took an opportunity and I had the opportunity to make money, but I still managed to manage my risk and I didn't lose anything. So you have to be more fearful of what could go wrong and losing your capital than you need to be hopeful. Because in this game, I'm viewing it as, for example, this morning I was watching EURUSD, and at first I saw they swept liquidity, but it was a so tiny sweep that I knew that this is still equal lows, and then they gave a break of structure to the upside, market structure shift, and I know that people went long, and I just observed and I just knew that people were falling for this trap, and I'm observing this. And then I'm still observing, I'm zooming out to the daily time frame, and I see previous days lows that act as a magnet, a liquidity below those equal lows on the lower time frame. So I know that we have basically a double trap and people are going to get smoked, and that's exactly what happened. It just collapsed quickly. And it's so interesting because I just observed the market for a long time. I didn't do anything. I just watched like a spectator. And it's almost like if you study this market well enough, you can almost see when people lose hope. You know, when those people who went long there, I could almost know when they could see the trade flash before their eyes just before they got stopped out, and it happened really quickly, but I could see it because I studied well enough. They got the setup and it consolidated a bit, and it was a really quick move, not a long move, but I could see the market fall really quickly in a short space, and this is the moment I knew that if I were in this long setup, this is the moment where I would see that trade flash before my eyes. So that's when I would actually sell. I'm observing this and I was thinking, if I had to trade today, this is where I would sell. I would press the sell button at that exact moment. And what happened afterwards? We quickly took out that sell side and then it went just straight down for daily previous day's lows. And I could have easily gotten 3-4 R on that trade in 5 minutes. That's the power of patience, and that's the way I want you to view the market. And if you're interested in my strategy, you can press the Discord link in my bio to join. And I give live market analysis every single day. And the difference between my mentorship and other people's mentorship is basically that I focus on one pair, one session. So I don't care about all the other noise. I just focus on one single pair, one single session, Euro USD, London session. That's it. And I'm focusing on becoming an expert in that pair, in that session. So all the movements in the market are something I've studied before. I've watched live for a long time and I know what to look for. And if you're interested in coaching or my strategy, just press the link in the description or press the Instagram link and send me a DM and we'll take it from there.